Hello, today I am again joined by Frankie Foster to go through every race on the ITV7 free-to-play game on what is the fifth and final day of Royal Ascot 2022, which sees a great end to the best flat racing festival of the season. Frankie, our final show of the week. It's been a long week, but an enjoyable week. We're going to get stuck into the action. It's the listed Chesham Stakes, which kicks us off. First race on ITV7's free-to-play game on Saturday. A hot favourite in this one, Alfred Mummins for Aidan O'Brien, around 8 to 11. Are you going with the favourite, or are you looking elsewhere in the opener?
I'm going to take the favourite on. And I might be silly to do so because, short priced, Aidan O'Brien trained. He's slightly finding his form after a slow start. But I'm going to go with Crypto Force. I'm just taking a chance on this at a bit more of a price here. I know that we're not really playing for prices, we're playing for winners, but Ammo Racing have been unlucky. They've got a lot of good 2-year-olds and they've been unlucky throughout the week. And I wouldn't let some of their 2-year-olds not quite performing put me off sticking with them. Only one start, but was, solid enough, quick and nicely, over 7. And look at the price tag on this horse. 900,000. It's got to be something special in there. So I'm sticking with Ammo Racing. They've got nice 2-year-olds. This is one of their more expensive ones. It did nothing wrong on debut and has got to go in with a chance.
Yeah, I really do feel sorry for Ammo Racing because what they had, Wallbank second, Crispy Cat third, that could have gone on to win the race. Mojo Star second, Persian Force second. They've put a lot of money into this game over the last year or so, and it would be nice for them to have a winner. And Crypto Force, yeah, definitely one of the more expensive 2-year-olds, and got to be in with his chance off the back of his debut. I am going to stick with the Aidan O'Brien because it is the ITV7, and we're not looking at price points really here. And I just like the way Alfred Munnings did it. His first day. It's a 2-year-old son of Derbarwi, and you look at Aidan O'Brien's yard, Ballydoyle, they have Galileo, they have Glen Eagles, they have Churchill. They don't really have many sires from out of Derbarwi, and I think that's quite something to pick up on. I thought that was really interesting. When he was unleashed on debut in May at Leopardstown over 7 furlongs, he was emphatic winner, nearly 5 lengths. He won by at Leopardstown that day. And he won really easily, I thought. I thought he had more in the tank. I thought, like O'Brien's horses, they normally come on for the run. So winning first time out, I thought you've got to be something special. And I think if you actually look at this race, he had Point Lonsdale before. He's had a nice other nice runners that have gone on to be one of his better runners that will go into the Guineas probably next year. I think this horse could be special, and I think it's set up for him. I just want to see something really, really special from one of Aidan O'Brien's horses this week, and I think it could be from Alfred Munnings. So the second race on day 5 of Royal Ascot on the Saturday is the Group 3 Jersey Stakes. Always an enjoyable race, over 7 furlongs. But it looks quite tricky, doesn't it, Frankie, this year?
It does, yes. But I'm going to stay at the top of the market for this one in the favourite, Noble Truth. An interesting career, ran on various grounds in various countries. Sometimes an easy winner, sometimes 13th or 14th, but on Noble Truth's day, a top-class horse and a very, very talented horse. And with a very straightforward opener this season, or this year, sorry, at Newmarket over 7, just looks set up to come here and really kick on from that. So, last year, a bit of an up and down and funny old kind of progress to watch, but I just thought that first start this year at Newmarket has set Noble Truth perfectly up for this.
Yeah, Noble Truth definitely got a big chance, and I do respect Noble Truth in the market, but the horse I've gone for is Monadar for Sire Bin Saror, and I think this could be a special horse going forward. 3-year-old out for Shadwell Estate. This yard normally don't have many horses with Shadwell. They're normally Godolphin, and to have one with Shadwell and be this good, and I think they're really propping this up to go forward with this horse. Raced 3 times during his career to date. Making his debut at Meydan over 7 furlongs in March. He went on to win a conditions race by 4.5 lengths. I thought that was quite taken how he did it. He was sent back over to England in May. He made it 2 out of 2 on the all-weather at Newcastle. Just got the job done that day, but it was in a novice stakes, maybe a bit of a better race than the one in Meydan, and obviously learning on the job still. Seeking a hat-trick. Last time out, he got the job done at Kempton again, and he saw off the talented audience for the Gosdens, and the way he did that, got to the front, and just absolutely picked off the rest of the field. And look, he won by close to 2 lengths, and I just thought he had more in hand. 7 furlongs, definitely his trip. Currently around 15 to 2, 13 to 2 in the market. He looks the value to me in the field and looks the one that I think with a superb pedigree out of Giants Causeway, I just really, really like this horse, and I think he's the one for me in this one. So next up, it's one of the feature events on day 5, and for me, this race should be a Group 1, but it still is a Group 2. Hopefully, in the future, it will turn into a Group 1 because it's seen some great renewals over the years. It's the Hardwick Stakes over 1 mile 4, and we've got another hot favourite at the top of the betting with Hurricane Lane having his first race of the season. I'll ask you the question again: are you with the Fav or are you against?
I'm with the Fav. I think you've got to be. Just the form is incredible, isn't it? Irish Derby winner, that Group 1 over in France, St. Leger, a third recently over in France again. On official ratings, best horse in the race by £6. And on form, he's just done the business very consistently over the trip, knows his job here, and is a deserving favourite. I think keep it simple. Broome is an interesting runner for Aidan O'Brien, but I'm sticking with the Fav.
Yeah, you're absolutely bang on. Like, I can't get past this. I think Hurricane Lane could be one of the bankers of the week. Personally, I know it's a short price, 8 to 11, and I can only see it getting shorter. Personally, his form is absolutely country mile ahead of these. Broome, yes, in second, but there's a reason why he's 11 to 2 in second, like second favourite, and he's the 8 to 11 favourite. Like Solid Stone's not the same horse. Hurricane Lane, Third Realm, Mostadaf, Lafayette, Living Legend. These aren't the same calibre of horse as Hurricane Lane. No. And for what he did last season, the only worry is how fully wound up he should be. Appleby can get these spot on for their first race, and he wouldn't send him here. It's for the Hardwick if he wasn't 100%. Yeah, I just think he's miles above these and should go on to win fairly easy. This will be a stepping stone for bigger races throughout the season, and maybe another go at the Arc because he was very unlucky in that race last year. But I'd like to see Hurricane Lane go and win fairly easily. So the actual feature event of the afternoon is the Group 1 Platinum Jubilee Stakes. Normally the Diamond Jubilee, obviously we had the Platinum over the last few weeks. Over 6 furlongs, and this season's renewal looks to have some very smart runners throughout the betting. Looking through the betting now, I think there's 26 go to post. So Frankie, go and find the winner.
It's very tricky, isn't it? And I'm gonna stick with my guns here with Campanelli. Even though Wesley Ward is not having the best of weeks and his superstars, or those that he thinks were superstars, aren't necessarily firing. But Campanelli has done it on English soil before. A first and a second at Ascot, and doesn't seem to have slowed down that progress back over in America. So despite some of Wesley's that have done most of their work in America come over and be disappointing, we know that this horse can do it at Ascot. And I just think an incredibly solid and kind of safe bet here. I know we're playing for the 7, but if you were having a bet outside of that, around 8 to 1, I can't see Campanelli being out of the mixer. And hopefully for the 7, she can go on and win.
Yeah, Campanelle, a horse I love. We spoke about this horse, this filly, quite a lot, didn't we, in the anti-post preview? I think Paul actually put it up as his bet for the festival. I really do like this horse, but because it's the ITV7 and for what's happened this week, I can't get past the Australian Raider. The way James McDonald's riding this week, 2 winners already. Chris Waller obviously had the winner with Nature Strip. And this is why I like this horse. If you look at 2 starts ago, this horse went on to beat Nature Strip by a short head. And the way Nature Strip went and ripped apart that Kingston Stakes was absolutely unbelievable. And I can't take that out of account. Like I can't look past that at all. Yes, Home Affairs was 9th last time in a big field, and definitely needs to improve on that. But I've just got to go back to that second, 2 starts ago. That run for me is where all the form's coming from. And for the ITV7 free-to-play game, if he can reproduce what he did there, I think he goes and wins this race. Look, it's very easy to pick a favourite, I know, but in the ITV7, all we do is looking for winners. What I would say, if I was looking for value in the market for having a bet, I think Sacred for me. 4-year-old filly for William Haggis having her first start of the season. Really like this filly. I think she's brilliant. I think the 6 furlongs be absolutely no problem for her at Ascot. And Sacred around 11 to 1 would probably be my bet outside of the ITV7 each way. But in the actual ITV7, Home Affairs, I can't look past him. That form in Nature Strip, I think's absolutely brilliant. So one of the trickiest events on the ITV7 game on Saturday looks to be the Class 2 Wokingham Stakes handicap. Who's your idea of the winner here, Frankie? Because it's another big fielded event that looks quite tough.
It is, and it's probably not a bad thing. I'm going with the Favs for the ITV7, you've probably got more chance of those at the top of the market coming in across the card than you do when I was having some wild swings at the Friday card. BLACKROD wasn't actually Fav as I was looking at it, but as I am now, looks like could be going off favourite. You look at this horse's last 4 or 5, all over 6 furlongs beside 1, all on good or good to firm ground, have all been in handicaps, and every time its mark has been going up and up and up, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. There was only one race where third at Ayr, but besides that, keeps on winning. And last time at Newmarket, off of 95, went really well and has gone up again. But I just think the BLACKROD can defy it. I think there's more juice left in BLACKROD against the handicapper, and could still be within his mark.
Yeah, BLACKROD was one I looked at definitely for this race. Even though at a mark of 100 now, I still think this horse is absolutely brilliant. He's been a great servant for Michael Dodds over the last few seasons, and I do respect BLACKROD in this field. And one I would be playing in the field each way, but I can't get away from Fresh. I just think Fresh has been absolutely lined up for this race. Course and distance winner at the track last May off a mark of 91. He was then second in this race off a mark of 96. Not so good at Goodwood after that, but back at Ascot up to 7 furlong in heavy ground. He was a bold third of 16 in a good handicap event. Starting this term at Kempton over 6 furlongs again, Shorthead second in a Class 2 handicap. He was last seen back at the Berkshire track, finishing a staying on 4th over 7 furlongs in the Victoria Cup. Back down to his optimum trip today, like I said, off a mark of 98, only £2 higher than when he was second in the race last year. I just can't get away from his Ascot form. Like I talked about with Darkshift, and luckily Darkshift went on to win. His Ascot form was absolutely brilliant. I think it's very similar with this horse. I think Ascot form will come to the fore, and I think this horse will go very close, around 7 to 1, 8 to 1 in the market. And I just think he's been absolutely lined up for the race. So the penultimate event on the final day of the festival is another tough handicap, the Golden Gate Stakes handicap over 1 mile 2 furlongs. Who do you fancy in this one?
Yes, a tricky one, isn't it? I'm going to go with HONITON, Frankie Dettori, to finish the week strong after a bit of a unfortunate start. You look at this horse, an interesting piece of form here. At Newcastle, Eldar obviously went and won on the Wednesday or Thursday, lose track of days. And then Post Impressionist was in second, who actually backed, but then was disappointing, never really got going. And then HONITON was in third on the all-weather at Newmarket. Now, going on from there, went off 1 to 2 and trotted around a Class 4. You kind of just got to go off the fact that they have been keeping this horse for a race like this, because it hasn't been running in anything special. It's looked a nice horse when it has ran, but coming in on handicap debut off a mark of 94 could have a bit in hand. It is tricky, these handicaps, when they've only run a handful of times. Some haven't even gone in a handicap. So you're trying to weigh it up. And if you take that Eldar off form without Post Impressionists, and then you take the easy Class 4 win off a mark of 94, could have a chance in a tricky race.
Yeah, I'm absolutely on your wavelength here. I think it's the first time on this show. But yeah, I looked at this horse, and just after Aldarov won, it was 14 to 1. He got slashed straight into 8 to 1. It's now 15 to 2. I can only see it decreasing. Like you've just said with Aldarov, it was the form lines there. But if you look previously, 2 races before that, he went on to finish third behind My Prospero, running an absolute cracker in the St James's Palace. And obviously like Frankie in that form. And then back in second that day was Thesis, who went on to win the Britannia. So even more form. I'll give you another piece of form. In the race after that, even then when it went up to 10.5 furlongs and finished second behind Secret State, who won the King George Stakes. So I have never seen a horse in my life going into an Ascot handicap with so much form, like different form lines. I think the way it dotted up by 9 lengths last time was to get it in, and its handicap mark applicable to get it into a race like this. And I still think 94 is way short of its mark. I think this horse could be around the 98, 99, 100 mark. I think he's got at least £4 in hand. And I just hope, obviously Dettori hasn't had the best week, and I hope on the Saturday he can bring it all home, and especially with this horse. And I think still around the 15 to 2 mark now as we record. I think that's an unbelievable price. And I see Mr. Cut at the top of the market, 7 to 2. I think Honiton should be 7-2 personally. For all its form line, I just think this horse has got an absolutely great chance. And yeah, it's one of my best bets on the Saturday, definitely, with Honiton at the price as well. So the final event of all 35 races, Frankie, we're going to cover on the ITV7 free-to-play game of the Royal Ascot Festival is the Queen Alexandra Stakes, the longest race of the week to finish. Never an easy one to finish on. A lot of jumps horses coming in. Obviously, flat horses that stay further. Who takes it?
God, it'd be tricky. It'd be nice to finish on a winner, wouldn't it? I'm looking at Falcon 8 with Tom Marquand on board. Started on the flat recently over the winter, did a little bit of work over hurdles and was improving nicely with each run on the hurdles, and then came back to a flat race in the Chester Cup in a handicap there off of a fairly high weight compared to the next to the field. Was carrying 9.12 that day. The winner, Cleveland, the smart horse for Aidan O'Brien, was only carrying 9 stone. He'd Coltrane in behind off of 8.12. So this horse had a lot to do that day and still finished 5th, stayed on well. You know it will get the trip. The ground shouldn't be a problem. And I think Falcon 8's a fair bet here in the last race.
Yeah, definitely. You look at that Chester Cup form. Obviously, Cleveland ran a cracker, finished 2nd. Coltrane came out and won. Arcadian Sunrise in the race with Coltrane was absolutely flying home and finished 3rd. That form line was absolutely no problem. And as you say, Falcon 8 was carrying a lot of weight that day, and to finish 5th, having won the race the year before, it was a great run. I think it would definitely set him up for this. I've gone a bit further afield. I've gone for a 14-1 shot called Call in the Wind. This horse has got some remarkable form when it steps up in trip, definitely. Trained by Richard Hughes, currently around 14-1. And these sort of distances just really, really prop him up. Last season in this race, he was a very smart 2nd behind the Willie Mullins trained Stratum, who's turning to be a nice horse, over jumps and on the flat. And he ran off the same weight as the winner that day. He then went to Goodwood for a nice big handicap over 2 mile 4 again. Frank the Form won that race that day. It just looks like these trips are his forte, because since then he's been dropped back in trip and still finished 2nd, 3rd. Like he was then bumped back up to 18 furlongs in the 32 runner Cesarewitch and finished 3rd. He just loves these trips, and I can't get away from him running in 2 12 furlong races this season. That he's probably going to be just 2 prep runs for this event, and he's at 14-1 going back up in trip. I thought he looked quite interesting, and I like to take a chance in these sort of races at quite a bigger price. So Calling the Win for me for Richard Hughes. David Egan on board. I think he's got a great chance. So, Frankie, that's it. That's us done for the 5 days of Royal Ascot, of the ITV7 free-to-play game. Thanks for all your selections. Obviously, we've got to thank Paul as well, filling in for the first day and putting up some nice selections. Please remember to get involved with this video, liking, commenting and subscribing to the channel, with a show every Thursday with me, Frankie and Paul, after Royal Ascot's finished, with the weighing room coming back. Also, don't forget to get involved with the final, completely free to enter ITV7 competition. If it is not won, well, it'll be Friday. It'll be up to £500,000 jackpot. So a massive jackpot to get involved. And obviously, we've got our league you can get involved with as well. So, Frankie, for the last time, thank you very much.
Cheers, James. Hopefully I'll be sunning myself on a beach Saturday, £500,000 richer.
Let's hope so.